Hello guys, welcome back to movie reviews, new series, absolutely, new year, new series, let's do this. So, we've got another double bill coming up, of course. So first up we've got is Kick-Ass from 2010, directed by Matthew Vaughn, that stars Aaron Johnson, you've got Nicolas Cage, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, Chloe Grace Moretz, and Mark Strong, yes. So it's interestingly. So obviously Kick-Ass, quite an infamous film, obviously, so about a decade ago it came out, so quite shockingly. Follows the adventures of a teenager who wants to be a superhero because he reads too many comics, of course, and becomes a vigilante, wearing like a green yellowish wetsuit and has like two truncheons, and basically just goes around fighting crime, like on a very low level around his city or whatever, but stumbles across the intention of a crime boss, really. But he also joins forces with a ex-police officer who's now like an arms expert, who goes around dressed like sort of like Christian Bale Batman, but not really, in a way, called Big Daddy. And also his daughter, portraying someone who's small and wears like purplish wig, of course, called Hit Girl. Kind of reminds me of something an obscure children's TV show, really. Some people probably might do some comparisons to something you think it looks familiar, really. So yeah, directed by Matthew Vaughn, of course, who did stuff like Snatch, which I reviewed very early on in movie reviews, couple of years ago, strangely. So another film by him, of course, worked on Kingsman as well. So it's all about high octane action, witty dialogue, and just basically that sort of thing what you expect from a film like him, really, in some regards. I find it really good. It's really interesting. It is. I mean, Aaron Johnson, of course, plays the character of Dave. Really, again, who's basically just like your average comic book high school nerd, really, and he basically just becomes, decides to don a suit and fight crime, and like in his own frailing manner, gets being the shit out of him most of the time, throughout, really, just and he sort of builds. He becomes a bit more stronger he does, of course. And then you also got Red Mist as well, who, in actual fact, because I saw the trailer many years ago, I never actually saw the film, but actually I was quite surprised, actually, that the crime boss makes his son become a superhero to lure Kick-Ass in. He becomes Red Mist, of course. So he drives his own car, very sporty, but obviously, just tries to lure him in. So his father actually can kill Kick-Ass, really, take him out because of what's been going on, actually. So I think actually because of something happened, or some strange coincidence, he becomes a target of his crime syndicate, really, and so makes his son lure him in, get him onto his skin, and basically just try and take him out, of course. Obviously you have like Nick Cage as well, who's basically Big Daddy, great, who's actually really good, very sort of subdued in this one, really, until when he gets like towards the end, when he gets tied up and gets filmed to burn to death, really. That goes manic. You get Manic Cage towards the end. Again, it's like in Wicker Man, really. Like he gets tortured, of course, being stung by bees and stuff, and he starts going on manic and stuff. Really, like the old tough stuff. But it's actually, again, pretty good. Chloe Grace Moretz, of course. This sort of film helped to give her more stardom. For better or worse, depends what film she's in. Really, it's like some of the films she's in is like very not the it's quite lackluster, really. Even some of the new Tom and Jerry movie, ugh, God, I seen the trailer for that, and it's like, oh my God. I mean, it's like that's like career downhill. That is, even though she's done a few interesting films beforehand, really, but who knows. Again, pretty interesting, actually. I haven't seen the sequel yet, so can't tell any thoughts on that. But the first one is great. It's worth checking out. Nothing else to say, really, on this one, even though you got people like John Murphy doing the score. What's his name? Darius or DeFries? I think he's known as. Really, he was more of a bit of a remixer, I think he is. I only know him from a few remix songs I saw redone, really. Mainly David Bowie, actually, strangely, from the Hours album. Well, yeah, interesting stuff, and it's probably worth checking out. If you haven't seen it for a while, maybe give it a watch, actually, and sequel, I don't really know actually, but I'll have to wait and see about that. If it comes on, if I come across it. Who knows about that? But that's Kick-Ass from 2010. And the next film we're talking about is Ride Along from 2014. So this is a film starring Ice Cube and Kevin Hart, along with Lawrence Fishburne and who's the other? And John Leguizamo as well. So again, this is an American buddy cop film. This is Kevin Hart plays a high school security guard who's actually been promoted to become a police officer. Of course, like, you know, very much like rather than being stuck in a high school, he ends up being promoted by a police officer. But one thing he wants to do is experience like taking out crime, of course, on the streets, really. And his fiance, very much, you know, his fiance, soon to be wife, of course, his brother, as you know, suggests, you know, always, you know, about his brother-in-law, played by Ice Cube. Basically tough, hardened cop, really, and basically close together. They've been separate family for years, but them two have been close together for, you know, always protects her and everything else. And obviously he's sort of hustled into this situation with the guy called Ben, played by Kevin Hart, of course. Decide, you know, just taking for a ride along, see if there's any paid crime around the city, really, and they end up taking on this smuggling ring, of course, this, you know, involving a guy called Omar, played by Lawrence Fishburne. And it basically spells from there, like involving lunacy and, you know, the typical stuff between Ice Cube and Kevin Hart, really, of course, mainly with Kevin Hart, because it was, again, he has also moments, really, like of outbursts and everything else, like, interesting. He's good, Kevin Hart, I have to admit, he's good. Some films some films he excels in it, some films he really doesn't, but I think this film is sort of in between, really, in this one, really. Obviously, with him, he's more of a experienced gamer, really. I forgot what we call him now. Like, well known in the sort of online community, really, in terms of 360, like in Call of Duty. I think he's mainly sort of well known really in the film, not in real life, just. And obviously he's got his good-looking fiancée as well, and obviously it's like, you sort of watch it, you think, you know, this man lives the life of luxury, and he actually look his job, you think he's just some security guard at high school, just been promoted, really, but wants to experience the cop life really a bit more, because it takes a bit of training and everything else. But it does lead to a few funny moments, of course, and, you know, Kevin Hart and Ice Cube, really good, actually. Ice Cube I think he's still pretty good, actually. I mean, he was in NWA, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, sounds a rapper, of course. Moved to acting, of course. One that sort of springs to mind is Ghost from Mars. Not the very best film, really. I don't know. But he's done a few other ones as well, bits and pieces, of course. But I think more so recently he's done quite a few films, of course. I think mainly sometimes a bit of comedy, really. It's always forte, even though he actually produced as well. To be fair, it's all right, really. If you just want to see Ice Cube and Kevin Hart just go around and round, you know, very much, it's pretty fine, actually. Nothing else to say, just buddy comedy, buddy cop comedy, really, in a way. And there you go, really. I just got nothing else to say, really. It's just like, it could be an average film, really. I don't know. Depends what I think. It's more of a funny film, very popcorn movie, really. I just class it as that. You have a good time if you have a few drinks as well. Spend watching with friends, sometimes with family, really. You know, it depends if they like it or not. That's one thing. Just who knows. But thank you guys for watching. I've been talking about Kick-Ass from 2010 and Ride Along from 2014. Thank you so much. See you later.